Goodbye. It's easy to ban people. And the pre-show, the audio pre-show, I'm going to stick at the end of this show because it went on a little too long, and I know people don't like to listen to the stupid ramble at the beginning. So there you go. You're welcome. You're welcome, Fakeologist show people. Hello, everybody. It's Monday, December 22nd, 2025. It's the Fakeologist show with FAKenukes Phil, and that's why we're hearing his favorite song. It's a beautiful world we live in. Yeah, it's a beautiful world.
Right.
What do you think?
Oh yeah, this is the new wave. This was man, I used to swing my, that new wave dance that they had back in the 80s. Yeah, I used to do that. Where you like run in place and you run in place and you don't really run.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, it looks like Tim Osmond was able to pair his YouTube channel and his DLive channel, even though he's not actually here. So thank you, Phil, or Tim. So yeah, Tim Osmond's not here. He's trying to get here. He said he was off, and that therefore I decided to invite FAKenukes Phil to fill his place because, of course, FAKenukes Phil has prodigious output as well. And I thought, well, this is probably gonna be the last show of the year. What day is it today? Well, Lynn will probably be tomorrow, and then that's it for the year. I think I'll take next week off unless something happens. So Phil has graciously come by, and Tim has brought his audience, but not himself. So that's okay. So Phil, if anyone wants to know, FAKenukes Phil, just introduce yourself to the Tim Osmond IPS audience, if you don't mind, and tell us.
Well, yeah, I'm FAKenukes Phil, and as the name implies, I believe nukes are fake. I believe the Cold War was fake. I believe the allies of World War II help each other perpetrate worldwide hoaxes, and that's why they faked the moon landing. That's why they faked COVID, and all these international hoaxes are possible because the communists won World War II. It was the Chinese communists and the Soviet Union, and so which means and America helped both the communists win in both theaters, and so America has been a secret communist country all along, and so the whole world is communist, and so that's why they perpetrate these international hoaxes. And
where do you think where do you think the communists are based?
Yeah, and then the word communist, it means a whole bunch of different things to different people. And I know they've been lying to us about what communism is. So we go back to Karl Marx, and we go back to, I believe the end goal of communism is to destroy Western Europe. That is the only
but who would be interested in keeping Europe in disarray, I wonder. And my mind is always evolving, but I have a theory, and it's not my theory. It's a theory that I'm starting to gather over just 10, 13 years of research, and No Agenda Show has kind of given a theory that I actually am starting to align myself with, but let's hear yours.
Yeah, I think Karl Marx, they started it all to destroy Western civilization and to replace it with a third world type of honeypot or a melting pot that is easily controllable, and where they want people to be at a certain IQ, and where they're good obedient slaves, but they don't ask too many questions, and so they got to get rid of. Well, during the Bolshevik Revolution, the Soviets were famous for murdering the intelligentsia. They would go into like Poland or some other place, and they would murder the top 10% of the intellectuals, and the other 90% of the population could be controlled through propaganda and other means. And so that's what the communists always do: is they always get rid of the top 10% of the intellectuals, and they get us all down to a medium type of intellect. And I can see that's what's happening in our universities, and they're not teaching our kids how to think. They're teaching our kids how to recite how to memorize things, and they're not teaching them critical thinking.
Yeah.
And so
Well,
I know,
I just wanted to, sorry to interrupt, but
yeah.
I know I interrupted everyone. Well, you know what? Phil doesn't mind. So I do. I just like to sometimes break in when before I lose my thought. Because when you get my age,
Well, Boris Negrosa says that communism is public ownership of means of production. Well,
yeah,
yes, that's what that's what my college taught me also. But that communism is different than that.
yeah.
Uh,
But
there's
I think most of it, and still today, emanates out of the British Empire. I think the one world order was the one British world order, and they have not let go of it. I think they're the ones that put the Bolsheviks in place, because the main thing they didn't want is the European continent to get together and disrupt the British Empire. And that makes way more sense to me than any other Jesuit Jewish conspiracy, because who does run the world? I mean,
mhm,
we do not worship a rabbi in Canada. In every school, every government building is the king. It's
mhm,
not the it's you know, it couldn't be more obvious. So to me, these are the guys, they helped invent, or they may not have invented the concept, but they are the ones that put the communists in place. They're the ones that dragged the knuckle dragging United States into the war to beat up their German cousins and make sure the Germans didn't get together with the Russians, because if that ever happened, then they'd have a huge problem controlling Europe, controlling the world. So
mhm.
I think that makes way more sense. It's the British that wanted the Germans to cream the Russians and the Russians to cream the Germans. They put them at odds, I think. And they made sure that Russia never became powerful by putting that communist government in place. I think they're the ones that put it in. That way, to me, that makes more sense. So, yeah, you
Yeah,
want to call it the Jewish Empire? I don't think so. Most of Britain, and
yeah.
France, they're
There's
not
a
Jewish. Sorry,
there. Well, yeah, there is.
Catholic or
It's hard
Anglican.
to say who's. I tend to think the richest bankers are Jewish, and I
Yeah,
think
but who put them there?
well, oh yeah, the people who control the banks, and so
The people
I
that
think
own everything, the landowners, the British lords are not Jewish. I'm sorry.
yeah, there's a lot of the Jews get a lot of help, and we are the
Yeah, but
Freemasons. They
they're the
definitely are
managers.
getting
I
a
think they're
lot of
the
help,
managers.
and so it's hard to put your finger on it. And
But
I
would
do
you
believe that the
is it
race mixing.
possible that the PSYOP creators created the Jewish PSYOP to get people all around the world to believe in hating the Jews? Because it's really easy for Christians and Muslims to hate the Jews, because that's just the way it works. So if you were running everything, you would put the group that was most easily vilified, and you tell that group, "Hey, if you want our protection, you better do what we say." Like, to me, that makes far more sense. So I call it the Jewish PSYOP. It's
Hmm.
just another psyop to keep everyone at odds, and to keep the Jews, who are a very tiny minority, in positions of power. They take all the flack, but they're not the ones running everything. But
Hmm.
for everyone believes it, and that is just the power of the psyop, I think. Now, I'll never get very much agreement there, but uh,
Well, me personally, I agree with Israel Cohen's definition of communism, and he made that statement back in 1912. He said that the way that we would conquer America is that we would promote the black people in fields of sports and entertainment, and that would lead to the intermixing of the blacks and the whites, and that will deliver America to our communist cause. And so, according to Israel Cohen, his definition of communism was to mix America with the blacks, and then that would deliver America into the communist cause. And I know a lot of people disagree with that statement from Israel Cohen. Some people say that he never said that, but there are also many people that say that he did say that. And so it's one of those quotes in history that we never get to the bottom of. Was it really said? I believe he wrote it in a newspaper, and it was quickly rescinded or something. And but anyway, that quote from Israel Cohen is still floating around, and it appears to be exactly what they're doing. and because I can totally see how they're promoting the blacks to intermix with the whites, and that's what the South fought against. Remember, the South wasn't fighting for slavery; they were fighting because they didn't want to babysit these blacks, and that's why they enacted these Jim Crow laws, and that's why they built separate drinking fountains and separate bathrooms, is because they didn't want to babysit the blacks. That's what, and so and the Yankees, they wanted the South, the Confederates, to intermix with the blacks, and that's what slowly but surely, after 100 years, they've been cramming it down into the throat of the South, and now it's in full swing, and JFK wrote that book about the nation of immigrants, where he said that America needs to start taking more immigrants from Latin America. And sure enough, during his presidency, he had that fake Cuban Missile Crisis. And as a result of that, Florida became, a colony of Cuba. And now we get all these politicians from Florida that are all Cuban, like Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz. Don't
you think they wanted them here?
Yes, we see, and that's it. That's not because they played into us saying that we're so much better than Castro. We Americans are so much better than Castro. Let's bring we'll show Castro. Let's bring all these Cubans into Florida, and that'll really teach Castro a lesson. Meanwhile, Castro was just smiling, saying that's exactly what I want you to do. And so all these Cubans went into Florida, and then we thought we were teaching the communists a lesson. But it's like, no,
I think, maybe Americans might have thought that, but they're not the ones that run the show, as far as I'm concerned. I really don't think
that's how most Americans were agreeable with it, is because we thought that we were really sticking it to the communists by bringing in, we called it the wet foot, dry foot. As long as they could reach the shores of Florida by boat, they would automatically get refugee status. And, the wet foot, dry foot has never been taken off the books. It's still law of the land. And so therefore, there is no such thing as an illegal alien, because the wet foot, dry foot is still legal. And as long as you just reach our shores, you can claim refugee status. That's just, and,
all right, hold on a sec. Tim Osmond isn't here for the audience if you are joining late. But I'm trying to get him through Discord or any which way he wants to connect. But he did connect his audience, so we're grateful of the audience. But in the meantime, you guys on the Tim Osmond Show are going to be treated to Fake Nukes Phil. And I want to get going through his videos. That is why he is here, because he produces just as many videos, if not more, than anyone else I know. So, Phil, I want to get through all this stuff. So we're going to go quickly. We only
so I've been spending a bit of time on this Bondi shooting, and it's
good.
It seems very
it's fake or real.
Very first day,
let's just make it clear to the audience that's hard.
It's fake.
Okay,
it's fake. Nobody died. Nobody got hurt.
Oh, I like it. Let's just take a look here.
And this is Jake TV.
Video.
False flag? Of course not. That would be crazy. Jessica, take it away.
Thanks, John. The shooting took place at a Hanukkah celebration.
Oh, wait, is this one of these AI videos?
Yeah, this is Jake. Yeah, this is Jake TV. This is AI. Yeah.
Oh, who's Jake TV? Is it Jake?
Oh, you never heard of him? Yeah, he does.
It's not Jake the asshole. It's someone.
No, it's not Jake the asshole. They're on YouTube.
Okay.
Leaving 15 people dead. However, there was one lucky chosen person who survived not only October 7, but also a bullet grazing his head.
I survived October 7th. I lived in Israel the last 13 years. We came here only 2 weeks ago to work with the Jewish community, to fight anti-Semitism, to fight this bloodthirsty, ravaging hatred.
That's why you're here.
That's why I'm here.
Wow, who bandages a wound without cleaning it?
Nobody, but it's better theatrics that way. After all, he is the
that's pretty funny.
Guys, we're here inside the hospital where the chosen victim has just been brought in for treatment. A bullet to the head is serious and they must act fast. Let's go live to the doctor.
Yeah, so the chosen victim is fine. Turns out it's just stage blood, corn syrup. You guys actually fell for that? Ridiculous. Please don't.
Too late. We already saw the picture. This guy's the president of the Australian Jewish Council and moved there 2 weeks ago.
Not buying it.
Thanks, Ching Chong. I'm pretty sure
Ching
Satan told
Chong.
us what happened.
Right. Perfect way to take their guns, too.
To be honest, I'm like 90% sure he was in the IDF.
Every single time.
Your call for a Palestinian state pours full fuel on the anti-Semitic fire. It rewards Hamas terrorism. It emboldens those who menace Australian Jews and encourages the Jew hatred now stalking your streets. Anti-Semitism is a cancer.
Thanks, Satan. Blame the sand people. Am I right?
Exactly. Let's all just forget about the fake weapons of mass destruction and genocide you committed.
This is the punishment that God gave us. We killed the Jews. We got, instead of the Jews that were very good for us, we got these Muslim refugees from all over the world who are destroying us, and the Christians cannot even celebrate Christmas now.
Holy victim.
I don't really trust people who only talk about what happened to them,
But
but
never what they did to anyone else.
Right?
That's called accountability.
and somehow they're just incapable.
Seriously, let's start with the 60 million Christians in Russia they slaughtered.
Don't get me started about the Rothschilds in 9/11.
Let's see what our investigation team thinks.
All right.
Good
That's-
point,
Yeah,
guys. So
then
official
they go
story.
back to mainstream and stuff.
This flag in his car, which makes you think.
Okay, that's
But they
funny.
do call out the fake, the Arsen Ostrovsky, which is clearly a crisis actor. And I mean, it's like a real easy crisis actor to point
So
out.
Shoot Me Spam says Jake TV is working for the same paymasters.
Yeah,
So are they just
you can
trying
tell
to-
that he was gatekeeping right there towards the end. He started going to the mainstream narrative, and he was talking about Netanyahu saying that Palestinian state is rewarding Hamas or whatever, and that's the mainstream. I've come to believe that the war in Gaza is fake, and it's always been fake. And I know they show us a lot of images of blown up buildings, but blown up buildings doesn't prove anything. That doesn't mean that anybody was in those buildings. And they do use buildings as stage props. And if you look closely at those buildings in Gaza, there are a lot of just cinder block stage props. They almost look like where firefighters go to train. That's like a training facility. And I believe they can manipulate the video to make the destruction look more vast than it really is. They could destroy a block, and they can make it look like 4 blocks of destruction out of just one block. And so, but yeah, as you see, nobody's allowed into Gaza. No independent journalists are allowed into Gaza, and they never have been, which is a big red flag, which means it's a movie set. And that's why
Lynn says the Iranians are claiming the Bondi massacre was real. What Iranians?
Oh, okay, yeah,
Iranians TV.
Is that the mullah of Iran, or is that the
mullah, the mullah with the mullah?
Or is that one of the Iranian newspapers that's claiming that? But
yeah, I think Iranian Press TV is based in, drum roll, Britain, England, I think. So guess what? They control their own opposition. Okay, let's look at this. What do we got with the Chernobyl thing? So you're going back to your roots, the Chernobyl.
Yeah, because they released somebody released a video. You can fast forward.
And I like your background, by the way.
Yeah, that's
great.
the Nagasaki mushroom cloud. You notice it's separated into 2 parts. You got the dark part and the white part on top, and so that was poor Photoshop back in the day, 1945. But you can fast forward it like a minute or so. And what I do, they released this footage from the Chernobyl blast.
This is new.
This is on Instagram, and I was noticing that everybody in the comment section was immediately calling it out as AI. And and so you see, this is supposed to be a CCTV of the Chernobyl blast back in 1986. And but nobody's falling for it, because if this was real footage, we would have seen it, a long time ago. It wouldn't just be coming out right now. And so that's why there's limitations on AI. They can't go back and they can't fabricate photos of events that happened a long time ago, because the first question we'd say is, how come you didn't release this video years ago? How come we're
because they just found it with the latest Beatles tape.
Yeah, see, if they come with that saying, oh, we just found it, well, then say, oh, how convenient that you just found it here in the age of AI. You just happened to just find it. And so nobody's going to fall for. And what I can see is most people will not fall for it because, you know, Instagram's kind of like mainstream stuff, and most people there will not fall for it if they pull that. And so I that's refreshing. But again, so I stake my claim on the photographs that don't exist, because I've learned that we can't trust eyewitness testimony. And so we need to always look, and basically our history is written by eyewitness testimony. And so that's why our history is so corrupted. And if we can't have photos that support the eyewitness testimony, then we got to redo the whole thing. We got to relook at the whole thing. And this applies in many historical events. We can apply it to the USS Maine and Havana Harbor in 1898. We've got no photographs of the dead sailors because there were no dead sailors, because the Navy blew up an empty battleship and they blamed it on Spain to start a war. And they did the same thing at Pearl Harbor, which was like 43 years later. They blew up some empty battleships in Pearl Harbor. They blamed it on the Japanese, and it started a war. Pearl Harbor was a carbon copy of what they did at Havana Harbor 43 years earlier. And so once we understand that, then the whole World War II takes on a different light, because that means that America is the one who declared war first, and the Axis powers were forced to declare war after America did. And so, and people say, well, the Japanese would have screamed at the top of their lungs that they were nowhere near Hawaii. Well, they did. The Japanese were screaming at the top of their lungs. We had a media blackout from Japan. We heard nothing from the Japanese news media. And so, but we did have family members over here that spoke to their family back in Japan. And so what America had to do is put those people in internment camps. That's why that's why we put all those Japanese people in internment camps, because we had to keep them from telling the American public what was really going on. And because we couldn't stop the word of mouth. We could block the media, but we couldn't stop the word of mouth. And that's exactly why Germans were put in concentration camps, internment camps also, because they spoke German and they knew family members back in Germany, and they knew exactly what was going on in Europe. And so, but we couldn't allow the American public to know what was going on in Europe. So that's what I think there was about 40 or 50,000 Germans that were put in internment camps also, and along with the Japanese. And this was this was to stop the word of mouth from getting around.
Okay.
Well, Lynn is saying the simultaneous invasion of she's talking about U.S. military bases in Philippines, Guam, and so obviously the U.S. bases in Philippines and Guam were coordinating with the base in Pearl Harbor to also claim.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, so just because the Philippines and Guam claimed to be attacked the same day, that's just an extension of the drill that was happening at Pearl Harbor. That's easily.
It's a coordinated. It's a coordinated psyop.
Yeah, that's easily explainable. Yeah.
Okay, let's go to Charlie Kirk. You got a quick one right here.
Oh yeah.
This is all on Fake Nukes Phil BitChute channel. Fake Nukes Phil. Go to his BitChute channel. He's got 24.95 subscribers. Help get his numbers up. Help get his comments numbers up. What do we got here? Oh, wait, are you kidding me?
This is a recreation of the tent where Charlie Kirk lost his life at Utah University in September, and people are taking selfies with it. You can see
that was a short little clip, but they're saying that people are taking.
What does it say about vaccines?
They did a recreation of the assassination tent, and people are going there taking selfies with it.
Oh, I thought it said vaccines in there.
No, it was
and you can see from behind me. This is.
Yeah, you can read the caption.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. Attendees are now posing for the photos and selfies inside the tent where he was executed. Oh, okay. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's wow. That's funny.
A recreation of the tent where Charlie Kirk lost his life at Utah University.
That's fun. Oh, it says Charlie Kirk's widow endorses. Oh, Vance. I thought it said vaccines.
Yeah.
Oh, are we already campaigning for Vance?
Yes. Yeah, the 2028 campaign is on. Yeah, Gavin Newsom is about ready to throw his hat in the race, and
he won't get anywhere. Okay. or maybe he will. But okay, that's interesting. Yeah, it's hard to believe we have to talk about that in what year is this? 2025.
Yeah, they're already starting to talk. Well, it's going to be 2026 here pretty soon, and they're already starting to talk about the next presidential election. So we're always in a constant state of elections here in the States. We're always pushing for the next.
We're always ready. We're always working on the next election. Never mind what's happening now.
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
But,
okay, let's go to.
And then there's a rubber baby. There's a.
You want to do a rubber baby video? What's the Phil show without a rubber baby? So let's do this.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, the CPR one is this rubber baby loses his shoes, and the camera pans down and looks at the shoes, and of course we know the shoe code. And
is this a new video?
Yes,
or
all these? None of these are redos. They supply me these on a weekly basis. These are all new videos, and
this goes only to Instagram or anywhere else?
I get it. There also goes to TikTok. Usually, when it goes to TikTok, it gets recycled into Instagram, and so they see it pans into the shoes right there.
So they're really this is well, TikTok and Instagram are for young people. There aren't any
so all the
boomers
young people are getting their information from social media, and in fact, that's what Hillary Clinton was saying last month. But she was giving a half truth, and I agree with Hillary. Is that it's a big problem that young people are getting all their information from social media, but I agree. I disagree with her solution. And so, she's famous for giving half truths. And anyway,
okay, so so there's the rubber baby. Let's jump right into the next one. Fake terror in Taiwan.
Yeah,
what's going on
this
there?
happened a couple days ago. Yeah. You see, that's a knife.
This is why we got to check in with Fake Nukes Phil every week.
Yeah, that's
because this story never even made it to the major.
I think he
media.
killed 4 people with that knife, and then
Chang Wen.
Chang Wen, and so and of course we have somebody filming him, and the guy filming is not afraid of getting stabbed himself, and so I just.
So now the president wants security reforms. What does that mean? More cameras, more digital ID, more.
So we're going to see a victim on the ground with some fake blood here, and it looks very reminiscent of like the Boston bombing, fake blood, and here it is. Here's a victim on the ground with some fake blood, and
so lest we think that. So are we? Do you think the Chinese,
the Taiwanese,
are really? Well, I know that, but do you think the Taiwanese are really at war with the Chinese?
No.
That they really want to invade, or is this all one?
Yeah, it's a one world
everyone's
government.
Doing this. Yeah, everyone's doing the same thing. Everyone's playing the same games. The same moulage, the same fake terror. It's the same everywhere.
Yeah, it is. And so this is and so I guess it probably dates from before World War II, but World War II was like the defining line. It was the final resistance, and after World War II, it's just been complete, total communist control worldwide. For instance, I've got a lot of questions about the Hindenburg disaster. I know that Germany was working with the Americans to fake that one. And so that raises a big question. It's like, why? Because Adolf Hitler had to have known that all the information the Americans were supplying was very suspicious, because as the Hindenburg was coming in to land in New Jersey, it was going very slowly, and we had 7 cameras that were trained on it, and all 7 cameras had a malfunction at the exact moment of ignition. And so that is like very
the ever failing cameras.
And so
never working.
And so that's why we don't know where the exact ignition point happened, is because all 7 cameras had a malfunction at the same time. And so obviously the Germans would have said, hey, how come you Americans, all of your cameras failed at the same time? But the Germans never asked that question. And so it's like, what's going on here? They blamed it on some guy named Joseph Spa who was checking on his dog in the back. He was stowawaying his dog in the back of the blimp, and so he would go back there and feed his dog, and he wasn't supposed to have his dog, and so somehow he must have created a spark, and that would cause the disaster. It's like the Germans would not have done that. They would have said they would have immediately and we should have photos of the dead bodies inside the wreck of the. There were no photographs taken of the 30 people that were burned alive inside the wreck. We should have detailed photos of where those people were, and because that would give a good forensic of how the disaster unfolded, is to know where the people actually died. But we have no photos of the corpses that were trapped inside the Hindenburg, and so that means that no investigation was done. There was no forensic investigation done of the Hindenburg. And it's like, well, what do you mean there's no forensic investigation? It was like the biggest disaster of the day, and we would have taken photographs of everything. And amazing. So, and this is why I always say, when they don't give us the photos, that means something's up. And now maybe somebody might come back with an AI photo saying, "Oh, look, we had the photos all along. It's just we never showed you because they were too graphic and gruesome." It's like, yeah, but it's been almost 100 years now. I mean, it's like everybody's dead that's involved in that event. If you have the photos, it's time to show them now. Otherwise, we are beginning to think that you never took them in the first place, which is very suspicious. And and so they don't. It's just like at Sandy Hook, where they never released.
Hold on, let's let me break it up because you're hard to get in.
It's okay.
I want to go to your next video.
Okay.
I want to get to your next video. Let's do this latest thing from Bondi.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This is where I do a commentary on it. The actual video itself, I posted a couple videos earlier. This is where you can fast forward it. Yeah. See right here. What's happening is people are casually walking in the beach. This woman here has blood on her jeans, on her skinny jeans. See that? It looks very similar to the Manchester bombing.
Looks like she sat on a tomato.
Yes. And so this guy's on his cell phone, and other beachgoers are just concerned. This guy's got his beach towel and is going to the beach. And so there's.
So what do you think the fake terror event was filmed in advance, and this is a
somebody said that
this video is of the day of.
Somebody said they filmed it a day earlier.
Right. And so this may be a video of the next day, but nobody's concerned because nothing's happening.
Yeah, see, this guy is on his phone, and he's not concerned about a shooter. There are people injured around him, but he's not concerned about it because he can tell that it's fake. He can tell these people are not. Here's our friend Arson. He's holding the towel to his head, but pretending like he's actively bleeding, but we know he's not actively bleeding. And
we got people going for a
those
swim.
Two guys are not.
This may have been two streams of videos that are sort of overlaid together to that doesn't make sense, or
it could be.
We don't know.
They could be. Yeah, they could be layering some videos together. But it looks. What it looks mostly like? It looks mostly like actors walking around doing a drill. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy with go to the guy with the hospital bed. There's on the third row there towards the right. Yeah, that guy right there. So here's
who's
this is a hero. No, see the two band-aids on his shoulder?
I got bigger.
Ahmed, how are you?
I got bigger band-aids on my finger from cutting myself.
Now remember, he was shot twice in the shoulder, and so
hold on. He was the hero that tackled the guy?
that wrestled the gun away from the terrorist.
I didn't know he got shot. When did he get shot?
Yeah, he ended up getting shot twice in the shoulder, and so those two.
By that gun? The gun was pointed the other way.
I guess it was by the other shooter, and so.
There was another shooter, the father and son.
Yeah, and so those two band-aids on his shoulder are, they were high-powered rifles, and so those two band-aids on his shoulder are where he was shot.
And forget, put everything back behind the back and keep going to save life.
Is this a Muslim guy? He sounds like an Israeli.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to tell the difference now. I mean, a lot of these Muslims are Israelis, and
okay, that's fine.
So anyway, this is a hoax, man. There's no way he took 2 bullets to the shoulder right there.
No.
And
now what did he get? What is this check?
It's
Did he win the Publishers Clearance House prize?
yeah,
or
this
what?
is GoFundMe. It's at 2.5 million.
Wow, that's a good payday. So people ask, why do they go along with it? Well, there's 2.5 million reasons.
Yeah. And so, well, that's his down payment. He's going to get paid more than that. And everybody involved in this hoax are going to get a nice fat paycheck, because they got to pay him or else they'll blow the whistle. But they get paid. A lot of them do it as a hobby because they just like lying. I think a lot of these people just enjoy lying, and but they still get paid.
I think it's about money. I you can like lying, but to do it for a living, you need to get paid.
Yeah.
So, okay. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese visits Ahmed El Ahmed. Boy, their mother was not original when they named this guy. Ahmed El Ahmed. That's like Phil Al Phil.
Exactly.
Come on. Aren't there any other names you could use?
Exactly. Yeah.
Give me a break.
Yeah. So anyway,
what else?
I see on social media that most people are in agreement that this event was fake, and I find that interesting. But
why do they allow that to go through?
But those are the same people that also say that October 7th was fake, and I also agree. Yes, that October 7th was fake, but where I separate from them, go to that one to the left where that guy's put his thumbs in the baby. See that here's the rubber baby for the week. See,
oh, that would kill it.
He's giving CPR to a rubber baby, and so if you can't tell that's a rubber baby, well then I've got a bridge to tell you. And
even if it is a rubber baby, this is sort of like child gore porn. It's gross.
Yeah, and that's what it is.
If anyone enjoys watching that, you're sick.
Yeah, and that's what it's been over there is child gore porn. Yeah, and they put
porn.
the bloody babies up there, and
people are sick.
Yeah, and
absolutely sick in the head. Let's go to we'll get some 9/11 stuff.
Yeah, this I hadn't seen this before. This was interesting. Yeah, play this.
Where'd you find this one?
This was on Instagram. This is one from Fox News that they aired, I think, the day of, or maybe the day after. It could be the day of 9/11.
It was. I think you're asking about Bellevue. I think.
It's like why was Bellevue? See,
isn't that a mental?
I know.
Hospital?
Why was Bellevue treating victims that day? And that is
Law enforcement sources tell us, not confirmed, but sources tell us.
Anytime you hear sources tell us and not get a name, that's fake.
And he said not confirmed. Sources tell us, not confirmed.
And that's what they say to this day.
Yes.
Unconfirmed sources. Sources close to. That is in the old days of journalism, if there ever was a real day of journalism, you could never report unless you had 2 named confirmed sources.
Yes.
So this is just, as Tim Osmond calls, hearsay or hearsay. Yeah. It's total hearsay, or in other words, BS.
Yeah, trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro. Right.
Yeah, listen to what he says here.
And
that the body of a man believed to be one of the terrorists was found in the cockpit ruins. That is because we're told he was dressed not in pilot's clothes, was not in a uniform of a commercial pilot, but some other clothes, so it could be a body of one of the terrorists. Also, some chilling news, a body of a flight attendant also, I'm told, has apparently been recovered. The flight attendant's hands were bound in the back by a wire. That would then, of course, seem to indicate that the hijackers bound by wire the flight attendants with their hands behind their backs, which could provide one reason why they were not able or did not put up a fight and were basically relegated to one part of the plane.
No, brother, give me a break.
Yeah.
Law enforcement sources tell us, not
Law
confirmed.
enforcement, unconfirmed sources.
Yeah, that's the kind of
total
crap that they were
BS.
telling us that day. I mean, but
I missed all that because I didn't watch the TV that day. I just had to listen to the radio. But yeah, that's unbelievable.
yeah, and they just say, "Oh, my bad." I mean, they just put that out there, and then they go, "My bad." You know, there's no "my bad."
Yeah, Bellevue was the mental hospital for New York.
Yes. And Bellevue was treating all the victims from 9/11, and that is just very suspicious. That is very.
Hey, Miss Maskless, who I think is a sort of, or she just joined the Fakeologist blog.
Okay.
I'm just saying she got a login. That's it. She said, or he or she said, I tend to agree with you. They love to supply us with our heroes. My family watched the 90s remake of Miracle on 34th Street a few days ago, and I had to laugh because the Santa character was held at Bellevue while awaiting trial. That is funny.
Yeah.
So Bellevue is the mental hospital. So yeah, what is a mental hospital going to be doing treating 81? There's your reverse Kai.
Yeah.
Firefighters. What are they going to be doing? Smoke inhalation or
yeah, that's the
give them
hoax code.
brief counseling or what?
Yeah, that's the hoax
Yeah, it's a
code.
hoax code.
It means there were no injuries. That's what it means. And and
now let's zoom over to here. Matilda was
yeah, she was the 10-year-old girl that died during the Bondi shooting, and this is the mother. And I just noticed that the mother, I think maybe her hamster died this week, and so she has no more tears left for Matilda. I mean,
right. What's the
she
significance
does a little
of
whiny
Matilda?
face.
Can't explain how it happened. And we heard some like
The shots.
the shots, but we thought maybe it's just someone decided just bad joke, like just
or fireworks or something.
Fireworks, something.
Yeah, this is the reporter feeding the words. That's called a handler, I suppose.
Yeah, so that's the mother who just lost her 10-year-old daughter, and I don't believe it. She doesn't seem too messed up. She doesn't seem too sad, and there's no.
What is the movie? Till is saying, show the movie trailer of Atropia. What's Atropia?
I haven't heard of Atropia.
Yeah, you have to put more description there.
She was in shock.
She was in shock. She was telling me that it's hard to breathe, and I was holding her, and I was like, calm down, please. I was trying to pull her out, but the shooting would just not stop.
Oh, brother.
Yeah.
Well, they really got a doozy in Australia on their hands, don't they?
Yeah, and so they're not used to having shootings down there, is what everybody's saying. They said, this isn't America. We're not used to having shootings down here. Well, all the shootings in America are fake too. And so, and that's why a lot of these shootings is for an international audience. It's not really for an American audience. It's for people in other countries to see just how messed up America is. And I mean, it's true. We are messed up, but it's because we're faking all these shootings. And
under trauma-based mind control, fake event,
and it's not to
psyop
take
industrial
guns.
complex.
They're not going to take the guns away because they've been talking about taking guns away since the JFK assassination, and that was 60 years ago. They always bring up the gun control after all of these shootings, and it's just the usual conversation, but nothing ever happens. And after Las Vegas, what did they do? They banned bump stocks. I mean, what the hell is a bump stock anyway? I mean, it just makes no sense. And, it's
let me look up Atropia. It says Phil will love it. Okay.
Oh, okay. Atropia. I haven't heard of it.
Atropia is a new movie, 2025. And we will put it over here into the The Brave browser. We use the Brave browser for BitChute because it's full of ads, and without Brave, you are going to suffer. Let's see. Follows an aspiring actress on a United States military base that simulates an Iraq war zone. So this is new. Atropia, the story of a real fake place, from the producers of Call Me by Your Name and Challengers.
Huh.
Ripe with social commentary that is more relevant than ever. Why is there a turtle with a army helmet on? Okay, we'll watch. Let's watch it together. Allah Akbar.
Now what?
Control, confirm what's up with the donkey bomb.
I don't know. I pressed it.
Donkey bomb, that's funny.
have to get out
Yeah.
Welcome to Atropia, a 24/7 warfare simulation in a town populated with civilian role
This is
players.
I think we've seen this before.
Well, this is truth in movies.
Bless America.
Cool. This is your last stop before heading out to Iraq. Take your place.
It's our job to make this place authentic. I take this seriously.
Look, I'm impressed by what you guys have created here. It really transports me back to my time in Iraq, but we can't have incidents like what happened today.
What was the deal? Jesus! I didn't realize my fetish was interrogation. Do you know what I've given up to be here? My passions? I love it. My career? Have you heard from casting about that tape that I sent?
They are willing to die for you. Don't you think they at least deserve to know why?
Hello?
What do you say to people when they ask what we're doing?
We're helping a group of teenagers to invade our homeland.
I like the Mulan.
In a gentler way. The answer.
No, that's not going to work, unfortunately.
No.
Those boys, they're not ready. I am pressed. They don't even know why we're in Iraq in the first place. They didn't sign up for why.
Why has America invaded Atropia? Freedom. Freedom. But freedom from who?
Wait, there's sushi in Barstow? No, we fly it in from Vegas.
Unbelievable.
I'm dead.
Yeah, well, that's more close to the truth.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Thank you. Thank you. What's put that in there? Sorry. Thank you, Till. Till, very good.
Yeah.
You're right. I like that. What do you think,
that's
Phil?
what the Middle East has been for the past 80 years. It's been this.
Yeah. So is this, what is the point of the movie then? Revelation of the method, foreshadowing?
Yes.
What do you say?
Yeah, it's kind of sort of
Well,
like a
mockery.
revelation of the method. I believe that anytime so when I go out into public, like when at the car dealership or go down to the mall, sometimes I see somebody from Middle Eastern descent. They're from Lebanon, or they're from Jordan, or they're from Iran. And these people will not talk about their war stories. And now all of these people should have a war story, because that region has been in a constant state of wars for 80 years now.
Right.
But nobody has a war story. They don't talk about their cousins that were slaughtered. They don't talk about their brother that was killed at this certain attack. They don't talk about their parents who were killed at this other attack. In fact, they're tight-lipped. When you meet people on your own, in your own experience, these people from this region are very tight-lipped, and they don't talk about their experiences over there. And that doesn't make sense, because everyone over there should have a war story, and they don't have one. And and what they're doing is they're colonizing the West from this fake war. And that's why they don't talk about their experiences, because what they're doing is they're colonizing Western civilization. So they're using the Muslims as a battering ram to one of the battering rams to bring down Western civilization. And this fake war in the Middle East is a big part of that. And also Sudan is coming over to the States. And remember, there's been a fake war in Sudan and Somalia. We're accused of destabilizing Somalia. So we got to bring in all these refugees. All these people coming in, they're all from quote unquote destabilized regions. But as this movie right here shows, Atropia, these regions are not destabilized. What they're doing is they're pretending to be destabilized so that they can colonize, bring down Western civil. The war is against Western civilization. Okay.
Oh, the leading character, Alia Shawcott, is from California, and her father is from Baghdad, and her mother's Irish. So that's pretty wild.
Yeah, everybody's got dual citizenships, dual nationalities.
No, it's just an interesting mix. You don't get Baghdad and Ireland much, but that's pretty cool. Okay. Yeah, Established says truth in movies. I agree. Okay. Well, we only got 10 minutes left. And have we gone through most of your videos, or we have anything else? I always like a good moon
Yeah,
one.
so I haven't seen this one before. This one shows the rock is there during the still image, but it's not there during the video pan. So when the video pans by, the rock is missing. And so I've never seen that one before. So it's a quick one. And so
many problems.
Yeah, the Apollo 17. And of course, we haven't been back in 53 years, and that doesn't make sense because technology doesn't work that way. Once we achieve something, then it becomes commonplace. For instance, like when Lindbergh crossed the Atlantic, he was the first guy to do it in an airplane. Well, in less than a year, there were people doing it all the time, traveling the Atlantic in airplanes, but yet when we went to the moon, well, we just stopped doing it. And people have gone through mental gymnastics to convince themselves why that makes sense. They talk about how Congress can't afford it. They talk about how there's nothing on the moon that's worthwhile for us to go there again. Oh, here goes a caller in her.
Okay, now we got a caller and a caller. And where are you calling from, and what's your name?
Hey, Fakeologist. It's Jay from Texas. Hey, Nick. Hey, Fake.
Hey,
Phil.
Jay.
Hey, Jay.
Hey. I wanted to know, did you hear anything about the power outage in San Francisco?
I heard about it. Yeah.
What do you think about that? What do you think?
Well, yeah, it's probably a controlled psyop, I bet.
What, the whole city, or some of the city, or what?
It was like a good 3/4, almost 3/4 of it, at least half of it.
Yeah, I heard it on the morning news. I heard it was 1/3 of the city or something.
Yeah, like what do you think? Like, I mean, because power outage that would do some major. But do you think that? I mean, because I kind of believe your theories about I think the government just can't control what will happen. You know what I mean? Like a power outage. Like imagine if there was like in all the major cities something like that, even if it was just 1/4.
I think what they said on the news was that they had a fire at a transformer station, and
it's not even on Drudge. How big of a story was it?
That's what I'm saying. It didn't even pop up. That's what I'm saying. Like all these other things popped up, but like power outages are real, right?
Well, I've gone through a power outage in my neighborhood.
Yeah, they're real. Yeah,
but it didn't. I think it lasted I think the longest one lasted like 2 or 3 hours, but it didn't last long enough for where my food spoiled in the refrigerator. And
no, but that's a pretty big power outage, right? For like a half from 1/4 of the city.
Yeah, and that's what they're saying. It was a big power outage, and I don't have any.
You're saying like the immigrants and everything, because that's what I was thinking. Like, but not in the way you're thinking. Like they're using the immigrants so they could do stuff. Because they said it was like one of the transformers caught fire, but they didn't even say how. And that was like the same thing during one of the Black Lives Matter protests. Somebody had shot at some transformers up in the northern area, and it's just weird. Like, I don't know if you with Bruce Willis in the 1990s. I talked to Lynn about it a lot. That's a very interesting thing right there. I don't know like how you, because I'm in South Texas, and I don't know how it is. I know some.
They said it was only out for it started at 109. There you go. There's some clues.
Oh, okay.
COVID-19. 109. Love it with their numbers. Let's just take a look here.
You're in Canada, right? Like how
I
is that COVID-19? How is that COVID-19? Because down here in Texas, they tried to, do that, but people were just still going out and but really.
Jay,
had
that's
you
from
all
5 years
locked
ago.
down.
You're really recycling some old stories tonight. It
But they
started
had y'all
at, here's
locked
some numbers.
down.
Let me finish. 109, and it peaked with 130,000 homes. Okay. So it lasted a couple hours, and there were 15,000 people in the dark on Sunday by noon. Okay. All right. Well, that's interesting.
That
Yeah,
is.
see
I
right
mean,
there
I
it
just
says
always
the outage affected roughly 1/3 of PG&E's customers.
In the city.
yeah.
In San
And
Fran.
isn't that the power company that they said was responsible for like wildfires
Yes.
because
Well,
of
they
their
have all the power for all of San Fran shithole. That's the main power company for that. Isn't that the power company for the whole state?
Yes, they always blame PG&E
Yeah.
for these wildfires that some people blame on DEW weapons from outer space, but like the Paradise Fire, and it was blamed.
Yeah, 1/3 of the city is 33%. Okay,
Yeah.
that's kind of funny. Yeah. Okay, that's
That's
an easy.
that's
That's an
crazy.
easy
Yeah.
estimation. The 1/3 is always 33. So, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I
Okay,
mean,
so I don't see any fakery there other than the numerology, but there's really not much to go on.
What do you think about the numerology with the metals prices today? 444s, and because you know the 4, like we all know
With
the
what?
6.
Sorry, with what, Jay? The metal what?
Yeah, the metal prices.
What metal?
Because like gold, silver, and gold. There's like these weird, like if
Well,
you got
silver
the
is
6
in
and
the
9,
60s.
Yeah, you got the 6, but that's the beast. You know how we all know that's the beast.
I know,
then
but
the
Jay,
4s.
I'm not too big on the numerology. You know that.
Yeah, I know. It's just
The
weird.
numerology
I
is
think.
all just a distraction for me.
Yeah. It's just, but yeah, like it's just weird how like it went up and nobody's really even. I don't know. It's just like you say, all these other fake distractions, and we can easily clearly see that they're fake, like with the shootings and then the other thing, and then they say, "Oh,
Well, we can, but
it's,
not everyone can. Okay, Jay, any last questions for Phil? Because we're running up against the hour here. And I know people like more than an hour, but can only do an hour. Phil is a working man. He's got homes to repair. Any last questions before we wrap it up?
Well, yeah, like Phil, if you could just keep up on that Gaza thing and everything, because you're right. You know, when if people were to die, they would be all stiff and rigor mortis. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we would hear a lot more of it from the people we meet on a daily basis in our own neighborhoods, and we don't. And the people we meet in our neighborhoods do not have a war story from the Middle East, and that's curious because that region has been in a nonstop state of war for the past 80 years, and nobody has a war story, and so that's very curious. You know, that's mathematically impossible, and so the mathematics don't work. And
Yeah. It's just to push something else, like you said, the more people coming over here to make an excuse.
Yeah.
You know.
All
But
right.
y'all have a good year, okay?
Jay, thanks for calling. Merry Christmas, Jay. Thanks for all your great calls.
Yeah,
this
Happy
year.
New
I
Year.
appreciate it.
We'll get to it again in 2026.
To keep going.
Yeah.
To keep going
Yeah.
stronger than ever.
Oh,
This is the
we'll
year.
keep going. We'll
This is
keep
the year
going.
that even Trump was talking about the narrative, our narratives, because with the shooting, they're like, I can't believe people would say that this didn't happen. He said something like that in one of his latest speeches. Interesting.
All right. Thank you, Jay. Have a good night.
You too.
Hey, this stream.
Didn't the year 2025 start out with a psyop in New Orleans where they had a truck that went through and killed like a few people in New Orleans, and that happened on New Year's on 2025.
Sounds right. We'll have to look at the.
Everybody forgot. Everyone's forgotten about that event. All these events are just so many, and we just forget about they even happened. You know, it's just crazy.
Oh yeah, they're just. Well, I was keeping a spreadsheet back in 2012, and I let it be user crowdsourced so other people can contribute, but it got to be too much. It just was endless. It was
Yeah,
it was like doing accounting. There were so
the
many.
sheer numbers of
Yeah, the
terrorist
numbers are
events
crazy.
it's mathematically impossible that we don't meet people on a daily basis that know somebody who got killed in one of these things. I mean, we should be, as we go out in our daily activities, we should be meeting people who've lost loved ones, and because there's just thousands of them, but yet nobody knows anyone who's died in one of these things. And when you do meet someone who quote unquote knows someone, well, then they'll give you a lame story. They'll give you a copy and paste that they got off the internet. And it's like, wait a minute, you don't know the person. You just copied and pasted that from the internet. And so there are people that are on the comment section and they pretend to know people, but they don't really know people. And I find that very
well. They're planted too. I mean, they
Yeah.
plant all these stories. It's a very big operation, these psyops. They've got the military behind them, the NGOs, and all the special interest groups that fall in line, that are on the receiving end of some of the money that flows from these events. So it's everyone that gets paid is busy supplying the entertainment part of the psyop industrial complex. Now, sorry guys that Tim Osmond was supposed to be here, but maybe his connection problems. I don't know. I think he should meet Fake Nukes Phil anyway, so maybe we'll have Phil on.
I think I saw Tim Osmond. Didn't he go to the Trump rally and he was and he had a sign saying that Trump faked his assassination attempt, and the MAGA people were they were friendly with him. I mean, a lot of the MAGA people were saying, well, yeah, maybe he did, but it's helping us in the polls, and so we don't really care. And it's like,
yeah, they can't. They're no smarter than the average Democrat. They don't see through the fakery, do they? It's
no. Well, they were, though, I think, a little bit more polite than the average Democrat, because if you went to a Democrat and said that Kamala Harris was faking being an American, well, they would just like throw a temper tantrum on you. But the people at MAGA, they were allowing Tim to talk, and they said, okay, yeah, you can talk. And a lot of them deep down knew that Trump probably faked that assassination attempt, but that's why they couldn't argue with Tim about it. So, so at least they were a little bit more inclined to see the truth.
Yeah, but I think it's better off for them that they believe that it was real, so their hero can get some kind of sympathy.
Yeah, and that's how they get us, is we betray our logic, our common sense, and we betray truth if it helps us in our political cause. And it's like, that's when you've gone the wrong way. And that's when you know your political cause is not right, is when you're willing to set aside your morals and your common sense and go along with it, even though you know it's not true. So,
all right, Phil, good show tonight.
Yeah,
good update. Well, when you have so much content, I said Phil needs the hour to get it out there, and you got it in front of the IPS audience tonight. Thank you, IPS, for bringing your audience. And we've got quite a few people on our YouTube, RD Live, and on our X.com. All these videos you can get off X. I think X doesn't censor too much, if at all. So if you can't get it off FakeOTube or YouTube, you can get it off X for all those people over there. And of course, go to Phil's BitChute channel, Fake Nukes Phil. I'll put a link to it. And his email is phil@fakeologist.com. Do you get any email, by the way, from the Fakeologist crowd?
Yeah, it does come through. I get busy, and I sometimes I forget to check that account for like 10 days or so. And so sometimes I fall behind, but I'm trying to check that account more often. Well, lately, I've been so busy now, the holiday season. I'm telling you, I've just been being run ragged. It's
okay, that's good.
I guess it is.
That's a good
but
thing.
it's a little bit more busy than I like to be. But
yeah, and you do odd jobs around people's houses, just things they don't want to do or can't do.
I'm like a rent-a-husband. A lot of my clients are, widows, and they don't, or their husband's too old, can't do anything anymore, or So
Yeah, that's a big business. Just people that can't do what they normally could do in the
oh
past.
yeah, and I
Some of the energy,
and then you
strength,
get
the
word of
balance.
mouth like really quick. As long as you show up and take care of the problem, you know, you get recommended, and word of mouth travels really fast. And yeah, then you end up just being
What
really busy. Yeah.
What's the hardest thing you do
Oh, well,
in
I
terms of
do like changing out water heaters. I change out faucets.
don't you need a gas license for the water heater? Or?
No gas license. And I do ceiling
Oh,
fans. I do a light electrical. I can fix electrical problems. I could fix I fixed a section of flooring with some tile. I removed the tile and put in new tile. And I do that only a little bit. I don't like to do tile.
tile's a pain. Yeah.
It's really dirty work.
It's hard to match
Yeah, it's
too.
dirty work, and I only do small sections of tile, and you know, just stuff like that. And I do errands. I calibrate garage door openers. You know, basically, a lot of times I go out there and I watch a YouTube video and I fix something for somebody, and I'll tell them, I say, well, I'm going to have to watch a YouTube video if I'm going to fix that. And so I just watch a YouTube video and.
Well, we started off this call. I'm having issues with water pressure.
Yeah.
And it's that bloody water softener. It's probably disintegrating and releasing its contents into my pipes. And I'm really hoping it didn't release anything through its plastic filters that busted for whatever reason. Cause watching on YouTube, it looks like one guy in the comments said the guy quoted him $2,500.
Yes.
And that's not good. That's way more than the thing cost. I'm proud, and I never paid that much for it. But anyway, just fixing it. Yeah, it's too much. So yeah, Phil is available. Phil at fakeologist.com if you're in the Palm Springs or desert area. I guess. And you might have to raise your rates to keep the riffraff out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
all right,
yeah.
Phil.
Well, thanks.
Yeah. Thank you for a good year. You've created a lot of content. I like the content. I'm a big fan. I'm not a fan of the drama that gets created around you, and I think that's a total distraction myself. It's not necessary. So when we do our interviews one-on-one, we don't get into that nonsense. So
yeah.
I think it's better
I
that
like
way.
to stay away from personalities. You know, we try to call it the way we see it. And if somebody doesn't like my personality, they can move on to something else. They don't have to call me names or stuff. They can.
No, it really takes us off topic.
Yeah.
Tremendously. We don't need that. There's only an hour a week to go over the hoaxes. And if we're busy talking about Phil said this and Phil did that, then it's not good.
No.
So
yeah. I don't deal with personalities. We just lay out what we think, and if people don't like it, they can change the channel. It's a free country. They can move on. They can go to Alex Jones. They can go to Max Egan, you know, and they can get their version of truth there. You know.
Yeah. But we have the best truth. We don't have, I never say we have the truth, but we have some of the best truth, because truth is very selective. It's personal. It's often subjective. But if you want, I think, the best and closest to the truth, that's what we have.
That's what I think. I think we're, you know, I don't know if anybody's right on target, but I think we're pretty close to being right on target. That's my opinion.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. Don't just we keep looking for the truth, but no one here says we have the truth, and we don't have to prove every single thing. We just have to say that the official truth, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's low quality. It's full of holes.
Yeah.
We are gonna try and fill those holes with what we think is right, but overall,
we point out the weakness of their case. When the mainstream media gives us a case, we point out the weaknesses, and we're not saying they're wrong. We're just saying this case is really weak. And
yeah. Do you want the blue Phil or the red Phil? The red one was the truth one, right?
Yes, the red one was the truth one. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
I don't know.
the blue is to go back and just being how you were. Yeah, the blue pill.
or so you want the blue Phil or the red Phil? As what's who put that in the comments?
Rainbows.
Rainbows, heaven. Spelled heaven wrong, but hey,
I think they did
who
that
needs
on
to
purpose.
spell right? Oh yeah, that's right.
I think they did that.
Okay. Well, Phil, have a merry Christmas.
Have a happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And I think we're gonna return in January, the first week of January. So
okay.
Take a week off. Yeah, I think unless something comes up. If we have to do an emergency show, I know you'll be ready for it.
Let's keep in touch. Yeah, we could do something in between Christmas and New Year's. That's fine. Yeah, if something comes up, yeah.
Paulie's making fun of Jim. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good one. Tomorrow Lynn will be on, so if you want to say hi to Lynn, you're always welcome, but I know that's with your father.
Dinner with Dad.
So have a great Christmas and New Year's, and we'll be back one more time this year with Lynn. Lynn's in the audience. Hello. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll bring it to you. Take care, everybody.
See ya.
All right, over and out.